Now, once this line is almost invisible, you want to go ahead and just grab it with the corner of your machine and just very lightly run over that line. So now, once all of that looks like this, where you just a little bit of that line, you want to go ahead and grab this machine with the no guard. You want to go about halfway and just lightly attack that line. It looks a little darker right here in this area, so what we can do is maybe close it just a little bit. Make sure not to go too high into this area, because then you'll recreate a line. This area looks a little bit, you want to open that all the way up. You can even close this all the way and just go with the very tip of the corner to attack this bottom area. Open it just a little bit and continue to fade. Open it all the way, maybe get a little bit in this area. So that is how you do a fade for the taper. I'm going to show you how to do this with clip over comb a little bit later. Now for the back, you're going to want to go back to step 1. You're going to get your 1.5 clip, open it all the way up. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take it all the way to maybe the bottom of the crown, right above the occipital lobe. Okay, so next, what you're going to want to do is get your balding machine once again and just lightly proceed to make your first guideline. Now to determine what is a low taper, mid taper, high taper, I like to use the bottom of the earlobes to make it a low taper, the middle of the ears to make it a mid taper, and then even also in some cases as high as the top of the ears to make it a high taper. This time I'm just going to do a low to mid taper, so I'm going to keep it in this general area right here. Fading machine, open that lever all the way up. Proceed to make a guideline about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. In the back, I like to give myself a little more space, so this time I might do 1 inch to 1.5 inches of room. Now you want to get that lever, close it all the way up, and proceed to attack this bottom line. Open it just a little bit. You can even open it all the way up again if you feel that you didn't do a good enough job with making this whole area even with the half. Now for this bottom area, if there's still a little bit of a line right here, then you can go ahead and go back in with your balding machine and just go ahead and flick that very low line. So now, after that is all balded out, faded out, you want to get your balding machine and go ahead and attack that line going in a downward motion. Make sure you don't go too high into this area because then you'll just erase everything that you did, all that work. So you want to keep it in a low area, more so on the bottom area right here, just in this area. So anything below this line, you see how you still have all of that area? You can see the fade, but on this area it looks all bald. So you just want to focus on this bottom area, leave this whole top area alone. If you're a beginner, the lower the better. If you're a little more experienced, you could push it up closer to this top line. But if you're just starting out, just stay in this bottom area right here. You don't need to go too crazy. You want to go back to your half clip. You want to open that up all the way. Now you're not really fading right now, you're just kind of getting this area prepared for the next step. So you just want to get this area all evened out with the half clip open. And as you could tell, I'm actually just the whole area is making it and a half guard open. So now you could see this, my second guideline is right here, but it's not as noticeable because I did a good job in preparing myself. So now you can see I have another two guidelines, one up in this area and one down here. So I want to get this half, close it all, and just go ahead and rub the machine on this line, simultaneously going back and forth from the whole machine to the corner of the machine. Now don't forget to flick that wrist. Nice. So now it's okay if something like this is still there, because you could always go back in and erase that. So this side looks pretty decent. You can always go back in and polish that up. For this area, after you've done all the steps and you don't know what to do, take that guard off, maybe go halfway and just attack it and see what that does. As you can see, it's already getting a little more faded in, so just open it a little more and go right ahead. You're basically just repeating the steps I just went over. You can even open it all the way, go in this area with the corner only. Awesome. Maybe in this general area right here, just go back in, continue to fade that out. Now, right now, what I'm doing, I'm just going back and forth from opening and closing, opening and closing, opening. And I'm just doing whatever I feel needs to be done. And this is where that barber eye is in. Just polish it all up. Just to be safe, I got my one clip on, open it all the way up. Now I'm just going to hit this area just to smoothen that out. Right there, nice and smooth. And this area right here looks a little dark. We can go ahead and close that all the way up. And just go ahead and get it. Now, if you're ever fading and something arises that you don't like for this instance, this bottom area is a little too dark for my liking. I'm just going to go back and repeat some of the original steps I did, which is the half clip, close it up, and just go ahead and just focus on this area right here. Nice. So now we're going to focus on the side of the head once again. So just like the other two steps, the other two angles, we're going to go ahead and go with our balding machine and just bald that up right to this original natural hairline. Get your machine lever all the way open. Go ahead and flick. You want to make this first guideline about an inch big. You want to really make sure you give yourself some room. Now you want to close it all the way up. Go ahead and grab your FX3 Babyliss Balding. Go in a downward motion. So now once that is balded, this is faded, grab your half, open it all the way, and just get this whole area prepared. Now close it all the way up and just go ahead and focus on this area just a little bit. Bend this ear, open that up, that lever, and just grab these hairs right here. And now it looks a lot more natural. We can even close that up. You don't want to take too much of these hairs off because you still want to keep some darkness for that taper line coming down above the ear. I'll show you what I mean later. You want to go ahead and grab your 1.5 clip. Go ahead and fade that open. Now the reason why this looks so dark, I just realized that I did not do my first step, but it's fine. I can always go back in and do it. 1.5 open. So you want to get this one clip open, tack that line. If the hair grows back in this area, you could always go against the grain. That'll also help you. You can always close it up, get it with that corner. Now don't forget to leave a comment and like. Don't forget to subscribe. Now, you can get the half clip closed and just very lightly attack that line. And it should erase. Maybe even open it just to kind of smoothen it out. There we go. Keep this as natural as possible. And you're going to go up and proceed to pull out just a little bit. Pull out. You see how I'm going up, grabbing all of that hair, and I'm slowly moving my comb out to grab as little hair as possible. Over time, you'll be able to determine how much hair to take off in one stroke, but for now, let's just start off with a 1/4 inch. So go ahead and just take off a 1/4 inch, little by little. Remember, for this process, the littler, the better. The less hair, the best. You can even go up in your strokes. That'll also help. And you can even go to the side. Then you can just go back and forth to determine how much hair to take off. You can even comb the hair and move it this way, just to get the hair fibers to move in a different direction and expose themselves in a different way. That way it's an easier cut. Nice. So go in, grab all the hair, and then turn it out and take off just about maybe a 1/4 inch of hair. Another 1/4 inch of hair, and then another 1/4 inch of hair. And just keep proceeding to take off 1/4 inches of hair at a time until you're going to want to comb up and then just lightly go up with the machine. Very, very lightly. Just like that. And again, just take off a 1/4 inch of hair. Now don't forget to leave a comment if you have questions, subscribe if you like the video, and like if you want to support. Oh, that's a lot nicer. Now for this final section, this little area, this will be the last of our clip over comb. You can't even tell that I didn't fade this out, but I know it's there. So in order to give my client the best possible haircut, I need to go back in and continue the job until it's finished. Awesome. Okay, so now here is the finished product, and that is how you do a taper. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment if you have questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.